Liebe Hörerinnen und Hörer, herzlich willkommen bei Carl-Auer Sounds of Science, Ihrem Podcast im Carl-Auer Magazin. Zu Gast ist heute Marta Nowak-Kulpa, Diplom-Psychologin und Psychotherapeutin. Sie arbeitet seit 2007 in eigener Praxis und unterstützt seit 2012 psychotherapeutische PatientInnen der Klinik für onkologische Chirurgie und Rekonstruktion in Gliwice, Polen. Sie gibt Workshops zur Psychotherapie nach Milton H. Erickson in Polen und international. In ihrem Buch Geschichten aus einem anderen, Märchen, Nichtalltägliche Psychotherapie, das nach der polnisch- und englischsprachigen Ausgabe nun auch auf Deutsch vorliegt, gibt Marta Nowak-Kulpa praktische Einblicke in ihre spezifische Art, Ericksonsche Hypnose und Trancearbeit wirkungsvoll und in höchst individueller Kooperation mit PatientInnen zu gestalten. Wir sprechen mit Marta Nowak-Kulpa unter anderem darüber, warum es so wichtig ist, never to explain metaphors. Wie wichtig gute Gründe sind für PatientInnen, um mit ihren Ressourcen und unbewussten Fähigkeiten in Kontakt zu kommen. Und wie Chancen zum Wachsen gebracht werden können, neue Worte und Geschichten zu finden und erfinden for a better life. Bogusław Maciejewski vom Nationalen Institut für Onkologie in Gliwice befindet: Lesen Sie dieses Buch, um sich selbst zu überzeugen, dass die Psychotherapie untrennbar mit der Organmedizin verflochten ist. Vor allem in Fällen, in denen uns andere Behandlungsmethoden im Stich lassen und es scheint, als gäbe es keine Rettung. Marta zeigt uns, dass es sie gibt. Hello and welcome, Marta Nowak-Kulpa, to a talk with Carl-Auer Sounds of Science, and I want to say to our listeners, it will be held in English. Hello, Marta.
Hi, it's really nice to see you.
Nice to see you. You are now near Gliwice, where you live, don't you?
Yes, I'm in Gliwice, Poland, when I work every day and when I live.
Mhm.
And yes,
Yeah.
it's really cold autumn outdoor, so it's good to be inside.
Yes. We meet today because we want to talk about your book that is now available in German. It was first available in Polish. Polish? Do you say Polish? Yes. And then in
Yeah.
English. And
Yes.
then in German. The title in German is Geschichten aus einem anderen, Märchen. In English, it was Stories from Another Tale. We come to details what that means, but first, I want to ask you about the translation and what made that with you, that you accompanied the translation to English and then to German. What's so special with this title and with the subtitles in the different editions? Can you say
Yeah, I'm so happy it's translated on German, and I know how challenging it was,
something?
because even in Polish it was not easy to express the words I use in a title. Okay, the Polish title is Niepamiętnik psychoterapeutki, which means Unmemories on Diaries on a Psychotherapist, story from another fairy tale, because amnesia and possibility to not remember everything is really important in my job as a psychotherapist.
Mm-hmm. Not remembering.
Not remembering, yes, because possibility to forget is really, really useful, and I teach my patients as well how to forget the things, the stories and details from this life they don't remember. They don't need to remember.
Mhm.
So, of course, you need to remind something. I'm Ericksonian psychotherapist, so
Yeah.
I'm really focused on resources. I'm really interested about the resources. What's your strength? What's your good part? What's make you happy in your life? So I focus on this part of life of my clients, my patients. But also, I need to know what is not necessary to remember anymore. So, I work in a hospital on an oncological ward, and I have a lot of patients each day. So sometimes I have only several minutes for an intervention. Of course, I have also long sessions, but sometimes it's like that. I walk from room to room, and I need to focus on my client or on the patients right now completely to be able to help. So I need to forget my last patients. I need to forget about the troubles. I need to forget about anything else to be honestly focused on what is going here and now. It's not about to forget forever, of course, but for now, for this moment, to focus on something else, I need to know how to forget.
That's quite paradox, but I think it's absolutely interesting to start with this paradox, to find the very special language and the very special pathway you go. I call it poetic. I don't know whether you agree to that. For me, it has something poetic, you know? And also it has some room of being surprised what can show up as important. I will give you an example, and maybe it's the wrong example, you will tell me. You had a client who came years after another client has been with you, and obviously it helped him very much, and he had a good way in the future. And he sent another client to you and told this client, please say to Marta Nowak-Kulpa that you are a welder. That could be very important. A welder for the German people who are listening is ein Schweißer. It's his job, or it's his profession. How can you explain with that how important that might be to have the chance to go to that he is a welder? What happened to that story?
Yes, it's easy to guess what it was important to this guy if you read this story, right? Because the story says that my patient was able to talk only about his job. He was not ready for talk about anything else. And me, as a psychotherapist, I never ever argue with my patients. And I never argue with them. And I trust them. I know that they know exactly what they need. This is what I ask them very often. What do you need? And who knows better what do you need if not yourself?
Yeah.
So I agree with patients if they would like to say something or if they don't want to say something. And I just looking for this part of this connection, which is more open to go together. So in that,
no, please, I wait.
So okay. So in that case, I have some hypothesis. I have some ideas. What's the problem of the patient? But he says, no. This is my private things. I don't want to talk to you. Okay, but in the other hand, he came to my office. He was looking for help, but he was not ready to open enough to talk about what I was thinking is important in his life. He chose his way, and he was a welder. So we utilize that he likes his job. He knows exactly what to do to be good welder. So when he focused on that, when he strengthened his himself to remind himself that he is a man who knows what to do. Yes, in job, but if you know what to do in one part of your life, probably you can know what to do in other parts of your life. Yeah. But you need to open for that. Yep. So I was really happy that because he recommended me as a psychotherapist to his colleague from work, that he find really important the occupation and his profession as important that he told his colleague, tell her you're a welder, because it's meaningful.
Mhm. Well, the thing that I understand and that I see when I read the story, and I can tell everybody, it's very important. Not only this, but maybe it's the first story to read in the book when you read the book. That he was told that he should come to you because you know what to do, and that makes a connection between to his job, where he also is the one who knows what is to do, and that he can get this ability to other contexts. And then here is, at the end of the psychotherapy, when I read it right, he said, ja, ich weiß, was zu tun ist, ich kann die Therapie abschließen. Yes, I know what to do, I can finish the therapy. Is that the, so to speak, the way through curves that you're really in contact with the resources, as you said at the beginning, that the resources show up at very different ways. And if you would have said, I don't know what to do, you only know, that would have been the wrong way, no?
Of course.
Mhm.
Of course. I repeat to my patients, you're an expert on your life.
Yeah.
How I can know better what do you need? I don't know you. You know yourself for 20, 40, 50, 70 years. You are an expert. You know exactly what to do. My job is only find the key to your knowledge, find the key to your resources, find the key to your own inner wisdom, you know?
Really?
And this is why I think about being psychotherapist, not to be wiser or more intelligent or have more knowledge, but I think it should work like that, that we are meeting, we have the relationship for somehow, which is so important to build a good psychotherapy. The relationship is the most important,
Well,
because if people are able to build good relationship in other person, they must be good relationship with themselves.
yeah.
So if we are finished the psychotherapy and the patient says, I don't need you anymore, I'm so happy.
Yes, yes. I mean, in this context, it was good that he said to himself, she knows what to do, but it's very different. What's your way to know what to do? It's not instrumental, but it doesn't matter if somebody says, okay, she has some instrument, I don't know. I mean, that's what makes me so, that's what's so interesting in the stories of patients and what happened in the therapy that you tell in your book, because it's always surprising, but somehow you always see it's surprising, but it's not Zufall, accidentally. But it's
Yes.
somehow afterwards you can look at it as it had a plan. So to speak.
Yes, of course. I need to have a plan. This is what I was learned by years, how to build the story. It's not just take one story and tell to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because psychotherapeutic stories are told exactly for the client, exactly for the person. So it's really, I don't know, the job with a lot of details, but okay, it's really difficult to tell to explain the book, because
Of course,
I
yeah.
never ever explained metaphors.
Yes, yes.
I never ever, because the metaphors should stay metaphors, because it works like that.
Yes.
If I explain the patient why I did why I said to the story, what I choose exactly this story to you, it ruined the metaphorical power, you know? It must work like that. I says a story, which I know what I would like to say, but how the client, the patient understand it, I have no idea. And sometimes I say a fairy tale, and the patient says, "Oh, why you tell me this story? It's about me, right?" I says, "Okay, if you say so, I'm happy you find something which is helpful." And sometimes patient says, "And could you explain me something more?" I says, "Sorry, this is your job to find the explanation." And I'm really, really trust the unconscious wisdom and the tempo when the people are going for their own understanding and finding these meanings. This is really journey, and people likes it because this is nice, nice way to work. We are just sitting, telling stories. I have a usually great time together in the office, and then patient says, "Okay, I'm able to find a solution to my life. How it works?" Yes, it works because this is unconscious level of finding the solutions.
I'll come to the tempo in a minute, but before I just want to take the thing that you told about metaphors. At the beginning of our talk, you said you have to forget the client you have been to before you go to the next one. So do I understand right if you say forget the metaphors that I had with the client the last time? They are not the instruments for everybody, but
Of course.
do not forget the fundamental pattern of how finding metaphors and stories. But
Yes.
not instruments, but it's somehow it's a way. How can you learn the how do I say it? Can you say receptivity or something like that to get in contact and then to have also the power or the to tell you just go and tell a story. We'll see what happens. But it's not
How did I learn?
yeah. A tale. A tale. Wow.
Yeah, they're practicing. I'm really lucky to have great teachers, So everything what I know how to use metaphors, I learn on the Polish Milton Erickson Institute, and also from my international teachers. So I lead workshops how to tell and how to build metaphors, and it took many hours. I don't think we have as much more hours to explain that.
No.
But the main, maybe not the main, but important thing is to understand how people are stuck in these troubles. We say in Ericksonian psychotherapy about trans phenomena. So trans phenomena, this is phenomena which are usually or everyday phenomena to each person's.
Yes.
But sometimes you're stuck in one of the phenomena, like in a hypermnesia, and you remember everything exactly what happened in your life, especially the bad things from your childhood, for example. So if the patient's stuck in this hypermnesia and can remember everything, so I need to help to go to the other side of this phenomena, amnesia. So I teach them how to forget about these things. You don't need it. It was on your past. You don't need it now. So forget about that. But some people are stuck here in amnesia, and they are not able to remind anything good in this life, for example, or they forgot that they are professionals, or they are an experts from a lot of things. So then my job is put them here to remind themselves. So being flexibility, being able to go from one side to other side, this is important part of being healthy person. So how I build the story to the patient who I diagnose that they stuck here or there, I just looking for metaphors which show how they can feel, for example. So if you are locked in a stone, right? It could be a metaphor about possibility to go out and learn how to fly. If you are stuck in I don't know, burning house, right? You need to be able to go out. So on. So not easy to explain, but this is one of the rules.
Yeah, I mean, that's clear that it's not easy to explain, because an explanation always expects, give me the right metaphor. But it's just the sensibility and the pattern of finding the right metaphor, but it's not this metaphor is for this metaphor is for that. That's the wrong word.
Mhm.
Let's come to the tempo. You have a chapter that is in German overwritten with keine Zeit muss leben. I have no time, I have to live. And
Uh-huh.
at the end, as in some chapters you do, you make meta commentaries on how you can look on some important things you have to be aware of in the therapeutic context. And there you say at the beginning, I read it in German and then I tried to translate.
Okay.
Meine Erfahrungen in der Onkologie haben mir gezeigt, damit es schnell gehen kann, muss man langsam machen. So my experience in oncology showed me to be fast, to have the possibility to be fast, you have to be slow, or to make slow, or to go slow.
Mhm.
Of course, this is somehow a paradox too. How do you, I mean, how does it show to be slow, knowing that somebody expects you to be fast?
Mhm. Yes, I use an examples because the patients really like this real stories. So if I find an example about patient who was impatient, this is really great word in English, right? Patient means patient.
Mhm.
Yes. So if the patients are impatient and they would like to have a really quick solutions, they are losing possibility to do it good. It's like building a house for 1 week. If you want to build a house for 1 week, it will not be a good house. If you would like to live for long time in a place, you need to focus and give yourself time to build it correctly.
Mhm.
I don't remember because, as you know, I'm really good forget things. But
Yes.
I think that this is this example in this book too,
Mhm.
with the man who did the constructions,
Mhm.
right? And he was really impatient. He was, I need to go out. I have a lot to do outside the hospital. I don't have time to be sick here in the hospital. I need to go out.
Yeah.
But the fact was he was sick and
Mm.
he needs a treatment. And when he was impatient, his blood was, blood what? Mm,
I don't know, but I can imagine what you meant.
okay, the cortisol was high, and everything was
Yes, yeah.
and not support him to being healthy, right? Okay, hypnosis starts many years ago, probably before the Middle Ages. But we know some stories about the Asclepios houses and the treatment, the Asclepios or Asclepius, and his snake is still used in the medical science, right?
Yeah.
So we still appreciate of his knowledge or his ideas. Okay, the idea of how to get help, how to feel better, and how to get healthy again was go to Asclepios hospital or house and fall asleep and rest. Take your time.
Mm. 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 Yeah.
Because being healthy or looking for health is like putting seeds to the ground. You can stay and you can walk in a circle on the field and was impatient wait for the seeds. They will be growing, but it makes no sense. They need their own tempo
Yeah.
to change, to rise, to grow. So you can use your time for being, in the nervous and lost your energy for that, or you can keep your energy, which you already need for getting better, to just slow down. And I see that every day in the hospital, these patients who are in a hurry and they don't know how to slow down, stay longer in the hospital, that they who can say, okay, this is time for healing. This is what I need for myself to be able to live as long as it's possible.
There is one thing that you tell in the same chapter about techniques, that techniques are not only just to know them, but if they are very useful and they're very simple and they're very powerful, but they have one problem, say, they do not wirken. I don't know the English word.
They're not working if you,
they're not working if you don't use them. As far as I see, is that you want to make clear that not the technique alone is working, but the co-working of the technique and the some who uses it in his own tempo. Is that right?
yes, and you need to have a good reason to do what you are doing.
Okay.
If you don't know why you wanna be healthy again, you will not do it, you know? This is the question I like to ask my patients. What do you need? And this is simple but not easy question. Because the patient says, what do you mean? What do I need? They need to stop to think about that, to be honest to themselves. Because the first answer is, I need to be healthy, or I need to, I don't know, blah, blah. But stay with that question. What do you really need? If you find what do you need, you will find how to do it. And then you can use any technique. It's really, really easy. This is not a secret knowledge. Just open the internet and you find 1,000 of relaxation techniques, 1,000 on auto-hypnosis techniques. This is really, really easy to find it. So if it will be about the technique, about the tools, everybody should be happy because you know what to do. You know exactly what to do. Just slow your breath. Just make a really long exhale to feel different in your chest, like that.
Yeah.
Easy. But you need to have a good reason to do it.
That's what I find is so important what you say now, because this makes a difference in these stories in the book, to making experiences with tales and with patient tales, how this can happen and find its right place, so to speak. And I know this is also a technical expression that I use now. I take it back again, but I think it was an idea. Marta, one more question I have. I could talk with you whole day, but I just have one more question. Better to say two. The first one is at the end of the book, you invite people to think about the word inspiratorium. And you want to make clear something you said at the beginning, that we can find new words or can find new use contexts of words we already know, or just expressions, vocabulary that we never used before, but we just invite to use. Is that the thing?
Yes, because it's feeling better is also about being creative. Because if people would like to have easy solutions. This is, tell me how to live. I never ever tell the patients what to do because I know they know better. So I could tell them, okay, read the book or read the story about Red Hood, and you, okay, this is a really great story about the Red Hood, and I can find a reason to tell the story in the psychotherapy, but how I tell the story and how you will listen is also important, because going to tempo, You can read it like that, fast reading, blah, blah, and next chapter, and it will not change too much. But if you will listen to me, because the space between words are as important as the words. Sometimes the silence is more important than the sounds. So the inspiratorium is just a funny word which doesn't exist, or maybe it exists. It's on the 3 books, Polish, English, and a German now. So
I think so. It's just in the world, you know. Mm-hmm.
yes, maybe it exists now. I want to show you that everybody knows what it means. Inspiratorium. Everybody can feel what it means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if different people will find different meaning of that word. And this is exactly when you says mother, for someone this is really nice and warm word. For someone is a remember of someone who, I don't know, abused me, right? So I never know how the words will influence for the patient, how the patient react for the words. But I try to strengthen my patients and support them to find their own words to explain themselves, to show the word how they feel, what they need, but to understand themselves more.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Marta. I think people should take time when they read the chapters of your book. Really, it's not so thick, so you can get the time to read. And I want to give you the last question that is always with the Carl-Auer Sounds of Science, but it's the first time I ask it in English. Is there something that you would have been happy if you were asked it, but I didn't do? So you can ask yourself a question if you want. If not, we do it the next time.
Okay, that surprised me. This question,
Yeah.
maybe I should be prepared for that.
No.
Back very quickly to this reading this book. What I heard about this book, which is not too big, that for the first time people usually read it very fast. For the second time, slower, and for the third time, even in a different way.
Yes.
So what I want to say is I'm really, really happy that the story is just flowing around the world. It surprised me also that the people find them as useful. It was just an idea to put on the pages of the papers some stories which I find really important and which I usually am not able to share with that, because psychotherapists shouldn't tell about this big clients, and I never do. I've, of course, analyzed my patients here. Nobody can recognize them in a story. But people likes real stories. And I think that real stories are really therapeutic. So yes, I will think about the question and will be really happy to have opportunity to talk to you next time.
Yes, we will have. We will meet together June 2026, the latest, in
Yes.
Vigry, WIGRY.de, vigry.de. There you can find, for the people who are listening to you, you can find out information and what is happening there, and you can be a part of it.
Yes, this is a great place for building and finding new stories.
Yes, yes, right. Thank you very much, Marta, for your time today, and especially for your book. And see you again. Farewell. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much and see you soon.
Marta Nowak-Kulpa bei Carl-Auer Sounds of Science. An dieser Stelle der Hinweis auf alle Podcasts, Blogs, Beiträge im Carl-Auer Magazin, natürlich besonders auf Carl-Auer Sounds of Science Classic, auf die vielen Specials Auf unseren YouTube-Kanal mit der Serie Genau geschaut, dem Hypnotalk und vielem aus der Carl-Auer Kongresswelt. Zum Beispiel die Vorträge des 5. Kongresses Reden reicht nicht aus dem Mai diesen Jahres, also 2025 in Würzburg. Folgen Sie uns auf Instagram, folgen Sie uns auf Facebook oder LinkedIn. Und besuchen Sie gerne unsere gesamte Website karl-auer.de. Dort können Sie im Programm stöbern mit den aktuellen Neuerscheinungen, in der gesamten Backlist, im Magazin und im Veranstaltungskalender. Ganz herzlichen Dank für die Aufmerksamkeit und bis zum nächsten Mal bei Carl-Auer Sounds of Science.